All right. Hey, guys. Welcome to Mosh Vets. I'm Dave, and I'm joined with...
Griffin.
And you know me, I'm Justin.
Yeah. So this is the first time we've ever had a guest on the show, and we'd like to welcome Griffin. Griffin, tell us a little about yourself and what you do in the music industry.
I have almost no footprint in the music industry. I think this is my largest footprint that's ever been documented to date, so there it is. I'm a photographer, been going to metal shows in the greater, Emerald Coast area since I was like 11, so the better part of 16 years, and just now actually starting to do something with it, so.
Nice.
Oh my God, he's so young, dude.
Yeah, right. I know.
I was doing the math in my head.
Don't remind me, dude. Holy crap. So what got you interested in photography and stuff, and why like music photography,
I don't remember why, but I know as young as like 13, I knew that I wanted to do something with photography. At 13, I bought like some crappy Olympus like digital camera from Walmart, like legitimately one of those ones you would buy for like family vacations, you know what I mean? And I just, like, I thought I was really good. I was trying to take pictures of water droplets coming off of leaves and stuff like that. Nice. Did not come out well because...
So deep.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Deep.
It was emotion. Yeah, I archived all that crap on my Instagram. There was no way that stuff was surviving.
You gotta start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
CIA still has it. Hopefully they don't bring that back on me. And then it kind of died down a little bit until I was 17. And then my older brother's brother-in-law is a professional photographer, and he was doing a lot of stuff for Getty Images at the time. And he just needed, a young, strapping, physically intimidating, strong young man to help him be grip.
Amen.
There you go. You get what I'm talking about. Just to like help out his like grip on different things, just carry gear, So I my first job with him, I worked on an HGTV show that was out in Orange Beach, where I just like carried all the gear, did the whole like where they have to sign off their, if you take pictures of them, they have to like sign and be like, I agree to be in the pictures or whatever, So I did that with him for a few jobs, did like a job for the Oprah network one time too, did like little stuff. And after watching him, I was like, dude, I've got to do this.
Oh,
like
really?
it was like watching him like load the images on it, like see it on his camera, watching him edit and stuff like that. I was like, I got to do this. So I actually used all the money that I made from helping him, and I bought my first like DSLR, which was still like at the time it was sort of new, but it was like a $300 Nikon, which I still had until my first couple shoots that I did with Beyond.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a pretty good starting off point, doing an HGTV episode with somebody, and then, you know what I mean? Like, your first job, that's pretty high up there, man. Like,
it was cool getting to meet the people who travel doing it. Like, when you meet them, I'm like, oh, you don't work for HGTV, and like they explained to me what their jobs is. Wow, grammar. They explained to me what they do and like how they travel around and stuff like that. And I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. Like you get to travel and do what you want to do. And it's like they've gone to LA, New York, Boston, all that stuff. And now they're in Orange Beach, Alabama on like, those beautiful spring days and stuff like that. It was like, all right, this is a pretty sick job. Funny part about it is it was a competition show called Beach Flip, and for the entire filming I was fine until the last episode when some producer figured out that I wasn't 18, and the issue with that is I couldn't legally sign an NDA.
So you had to have your like parents.
Nobody. Yeah, there was, and they were about to do the big reveal of who won the show. So I'm standing right there and I'm like, nice, I get to see who wins. And then they were like, who is he? How old are you? And I was like 17. And they're like, get him out of here. So I literally had to go stand off the property, which meant in the street. So I just stood in the street and watched the ceremony from like afar, being like, what?
Oh man,
I still saw who won.
you got hosed.
Yeah, they're just like, you got to go 50 yards away.
Oh my gosh,
That's so funny.
yeah, that legal stuff.
You could have leaked all that, and you would have been like legally liable.
I could have done some Me Too stuff too. There was one
What
guy.
the F?
His name was like David or something like that. He was like this Asian dude that was an interior decorator. He got jacked, dude.
Yeah.
And we did some solo like profile shots of him. And then when we were walking out, he like did the what is that called? Like the scoop.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
yeah,
he like double scooped me
Oh.
on the way out, and I was like, he doesn't know I'm underage. I'm gonna get him.
That's funny, dude.
All the crew is fine, and the producers are fine. The producers are hilarious. It was more so the talent. They gather everybody in a circle, and they're like, don't talk to the talent unless they talk to you. If they ask you to do something for them, clear it with their PAs first and all this stuff. And it was just like,
a lot of that exists because of like stuff that's happened in the past, though. Honestly, like, because I've been in a lot of situations like that where like they'll explain to you like, oh, don't do that, don't talk to, like, even shows we've played, they're like, don't talk to the other band, or like, don't go in the green room, all that stuff. And then like I think like, what dickheads, you know, like what an asshole. But not realizing that they have like a whole ceremony that they do and a whole little thing. And we've talked about this before where you're like on the road for so long, some of these artists and stuff. And I mean, it's different than what we're talking about, but like they just have all these different rules about like what you can do with the artist and not some, you know, because there's some crazy people out there that'll like fangirl and be like, oh my God, you're on TV. And, you know, and then even meeting bands at like Warped Tour, you know, like you want to just be like professional and not freak out. And like, it's just something that you're supposed to like know, but like you don't know at that age, you know, where you're like, these dudes are being dicks to me. What am I really going to do? You know,
right.
Like,
it was just
why
like,
are you so scared of a 17-year-old boy?
it was, I know, it was the first time that I think it set me on a path of experience that is actually useful to me now, where you learn how to deal with, not necessarily like kissing butt or sucking up, but you learn how to deal with people who probably view themselves as talent.
Yeah, that's true too.
You learn
Egos,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. Some people, like, there have been plenty of bands that I've shot that, like, whether they hired me or didn't hire me, that want to be talked to like normal people.
Yeah.
Like, it's like they don't want to be treated any differently. They want to act almost like your coworkers in the music industry. And it's like, so what do you do? Who have you seen? Oh, dude, I love that album. Just talk like normal people. And then some people want to be I'm the lead singer. I don't go to the merch table.
Yeah.
I don't talk after shows.
Talk to my manager type shit.
Yeah.
Which is, it's whatever. If you're having a bad day and you don't want to talk to people, dude, by all means. I haven't done a tour yet. I can't imagine how like exhausting that's got to be, especially if you're a headliner, to just like every night, and you know, especially if you have the VIP packages and stuff like that, it's got to be exhausting. But then also, if it's like if you're an opener, it's like, yeah, you're on stage, but like you're not, like, good for you for being on stage, but you're not like bigger than anybody.
Most openers I've run into have been totally cool.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, absolutely.
I've only run into, and there was a misunderstanding, and they kind of got got butt hurt. But for the most part, every opener has been like, oh yeah, dude, yeah, man, you know, cool. Oh, we can move our stuff around. Oh yeah, put your merch table here. You know, everybody's been super helpful. Yeah, I've only run into one. Talk about that off camera.
yeah, no names,
Yeah, I'm not going to drop any names, but it was just a misunderstanding, and they were actually cool. They just said a couple things here and there because they were frustrated with the order that they were placed during the show, and I just ripped the Band-Aid and walked right over to him. It was like, "What's up, man? Hey, oh, dude, so glad we're playing with you." You know, that sort of shit. So they were cool to me, you know. But yeah, I feel that the talent.
that stuff would, again, I think that's another reason I couldn't be in a band, is like being in that position where like for instance, you know, you guys opened that Club LA show for Upon a Burning Body and all that stuff. Like you all load your equipment into the same areas. You know what I mean? You're all kind of like working next to each other. But to like be like just like, hey man, so how's tour going? And to get big timed.
Yeah.
It's just like just be cool. Like, or just be nice. Like, I'm asking you how the tour is going. I'm not asking for your autograph. I'm not asking for a picture. I'm not, you know what I mean?
On that point, I was just remembering something. Like, so we played Club LA. You know who I hope this doesn't sound bad. I thought I was going to get big timed by somebody. Fronz from Attila. Mm-hmm. I thought I was going to get big timed. Like, kind of like, oh, you know, we're hanging, you know, nicest dude in the world. Mm-hmm. Fucking nicest guy in the world. Yeah. Like, actually gave me like 20, 30 minutes, like, of just like me talking to them, and then like kind of telling them that I saw them way back in the day when they did the Sumerian tour, All-Star tour, and stuff like. I was just saying, he's like, "Oh,
All-Star Tour 2012, baby."
Yeah. That's exactly the one I went to in Pensacola.
My parents wouldn't let me go.
It was so awesome, dude. You missed out, bro. You missed out.
I know.
But yeah, I was telling him about that, and like he gave me time. Like he didn't like shy away or anything. He was a cool dude. You know, for all the crap that Fronz gets, man. Like everything I've seen with that guy, he's pretty dope guy. I don't understand the hate, but no, he's pretty awesome in my book. I think
enough people, like you said, I think the people that he cares about their view know that he's like that, and then I think he plays into an image that people hate intentionally.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's a few people like that. Yeah, for sure.
They had an album called Villain.
Yeah.
But he's super dope, man. Like in person, like even like loading in, I was like, "Hey, Fronz, how are you doing?" He's like, "I'm doing great. How are you, man?" You know, like, and I was like, usually, I've had a couple of people where I've done that too, and they just kind of walk right by me type shit. And I'm like, "Oh, cool. Sick. Glad I paid all this money to come in here."
What's funny to me is like when people get, like, they'll meet an artist and they'll be like, you know, like he was awkward or weird or something like that. And then you listen to their lyrics and what they're singing about and like depression and stuff like that. And you're like,
they're very awkward.
Like, he sings about how he feels like, you know, and people don't realize. And you also, like, you talked about being on like a full U.S. tour where, you know, you're going to bed late, waking up early, and all the travel. And, you know, no one's really used to that. I mean, even dudes that are on the road for 10 plus years, it's still a journey and a lot of work to get through. And, you know, you're dealing with depression, anxiety, and all those things outside of that too. So it's just a lot on people.
Being away from family.
Yeah,
being away from the people that help you to get through those kind of things.
Yeah, and I don't know the conversation you just had on your phone minutes before meeting me or whatever. So like, I give a lot of credit to these dudes that even step out of the bus and go to meet people and stuff, you know, like.
Yeah, we were talking earlier. We were sitting having a beer, and it's like, just talking to people is an acquired skill. Like, you have to practice it. It has to, you know, even doing this is, you know, you the more and more you do it, the better and better you get at anything. So it's all an acquired skill. I don't like talking to people. When I go, I feel very uncomfortable talking to new people. I don't know if it shows, but but I just do it, you know, and I just keep doing it. And I keep telling myself, and I went out to that Kenny Chesney concert with my wife, unfortunately. And, in Orange Beach, which was dope. Orange Beach is pretty cool. I like that area. It's really very nice. Pretty. And we were at the amphitheater down there, and, like, we walked in, and I had no clue where to go or, like, where anything was. And, you know, of course, my wife I have to have a plan because I'm a dude. And I'm supposed to have a plan of attack, even if I've never been there before.
Listen, Justin, you're a very successful musician.
You should know where everything is.
Exactly where everything is.
In every venue.
Where's the bathroom? Where's the this? I'm like, I don't know. But anyway, so like I just walked up to this dude, and I was like, they were selling food. I'm like, what are they selling, bro? And he was like, oh, they got this, they got that, they got that. I'm like, all right, cool, thanks. And then I walked to the next person in line. I'm like, what are they buying, you know, selling up there? Where's this tent? Hey, do you know where the bathrooms are? What's going on? You know, like, you just, Honestly, if you just act stupid half the time, that's what I tell people at work. Like when you got to go do something that you're like not really sure you got to go, I'm like, just act stupid. Just be like, oh, I thought we could just pull up on this aircraft at any time and look at it and touch it. Oh, my bad. Am I not supposed to do that? Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't know I was supposed to be here.
I can't take an up-close picture of the underbelly of an F-22.
Yeah.
Is that
right?
Well, the picture thing, yeah, we all know not to take pictures.
Yeah.
Some of us don't. Some of us want to.
Yeah? Well, you're not missing anything.
If you're watching this and you have a connection, I want to see some planes up close. Thank you.
So now, back to asking you about your experiences. So,
My long, illustrious career.
I mean, everyone starts somewhere, dude. I mean, this is still a brand new podcast. Like
361 days.
Yeah.
So are you doing this full time now? This is your job?
No.
Okay.
No, I still full time. I'm still doing pool technician.
Okay.
Which helps with the customer
Pool
service.
Or
Oh, swimming pool. Yeah. Swimming pools. Yeah, residential areas.
I fix all the
stuff.
pool tables in the area.
Yeah, bro, it's pretty sick. You know what I mean?
Goddamn quarter machine won't work.
It's really a lot more math and geometry than people realize.
God.
No, I started doing it as like I always wanted to do it, but it was kind of like I don't know how to get started, and there's just so many things. It was just like, and I'm that person. I'm not a try new things person. I am not a put yourself out there person. So when I saw, shout out Austin from Beyond Misconception, when he put up on his Instagram and was like, hey, our photographer canceled. Does anybody have a camera? Want to come take pictures? I was like, I'm not doing anything tonight, and I have a camera. And it's low risk. Low risk.
Yeah.
That was the thing. And especially, downtown music hall, super easy to be in there. Like, you just do your thing. There's no, what's in the bag, bro? And there's no, hey, man, stay here, don't go here. So it was easy place. And then, so I did my usual thing, took pictures, sent Austin the photos, and then he called me the next day, and he was like, dude, quit your job. And I was like, is that
like the
good?
biggest compliment?
Yeah, I was like, is that good or bad? He was like, dude, these are so good, and was just going off, and I was like, I mean, if he liked them, like, I tend to have a very low opinion of, like, my work, which I think is against me, but is also for me, because it means that you're always going to be improving.
Absolutely.
But then after that, it was just like, we have another show in 2 weeks. Went and shot that. Next show after that, Worthy played. I shot y'all's show, and then y'all liked the photos, and I DM'd you. I'll shoot for free if you let me shoot your Club LA set. Yeah. And then got a photo pass to shoot the whole show. And from then on, it's been like, and Dee Dee Kohl.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah,
dude.
shout out Dee Dee for sure.
Dude.
She DM'd me before I could DM her.
She's like the mother hen of the whole music industry, dude. She just,
Well, and I'm like a competitor. I'm a direct competitor. If she wanted to look at it that way, she could 100% objectively be like, oh, this is a person that could possibly take work away from me. Yeah. And instead, she sent me like this giant freaking biblically long paragraph of like exactly what to do, who to try and talk to, the things like to try and be positive, treat other people well. Like she just sent me like this long list of things to do, and that day I did exactly what she said. She said get in touch with a media company. I got in touch with 850 Music and Entertainment. Had a phone. That was on Thursday. By Saturday, I had like a partnership with 850 and.
You talked to Nikki?
And Nikki, yeah. Nikki, she's a nice Nikki lady called me. We talked for like an hour and a half on the phone. It's just, and ever since then, it's just, and since then, Nikki has trusted me to do a bunch of stuff for both her and her husband. You know what I mean? And which is crazy. I've never met Nikki or Ed in person, but we've just always talked over the phone and stuff.
Yeah, I've never met her either. I just talked to her on the phone for about an hour, and she helps promote the stuff at downtown.
They're the best. They're the absolute best. Yeah. They're super patient. It's things that I still like. Sure, I'll put their watermark on the pictures that I take, and they get to post it to their website. But it's like the amount of work that she does on that stuff. I'm like, I don't I don't know how it's worth it for her to be doing that for me. But like somehow she sees it as worth it, and I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to dissuade her out of it. That's for sure.
Dope.
Yeah. Now, do you think starting with Beyond and shooting at like a local venue instead of like getting your foot in the door at like Vinyl, do you think that it was better going that route through Beyond? Yeah, I agree with you. I'm just
I've learned Downtown Music Hall actually has really good lighting, because you might think, oh, it's a bar, like it's a bar venue, you know, they don't have a barricade. Who knows how good the lights are going to be? Downtown Music Hall has great lighting actually, but like my first couple shoots were Downtown Music Hall and then Mosey's in Panama City.
Yeah,
and those are like
two totally different.
Mosey's was a night. Not the venue is fine, but I'm just saying the lights, because they had two different. It was Summerfest, so they had the stage in the back and the stage in the front, and so they couldn't have all the lighting on one stage.
Oh yeah, so they split it between the two or something, or
right,
just didn't use the lights on one stage.
And certain lights, it was like, well, they're a metal band, they probably want them more dim, so I had to ask. I was shooting for Rotted Remains, and the guitarist for Rotted Remains had to be like, hey, can we kick the lights up a little bit? It's like really dark. But yeah, shooting crappy bars, you learn how to make nothing out of something, or something out of nothing. Yeah. Don't do the opposite. Yeah, you learn how to make something out of nothing, and you learn to just once your first couple experiences go almost as, and I got big timed at that fest, you know what I mean? So it's like I already feel crappy, and then I'm like, this is gonna be so dark, and I have to shoot like with such low shutter speed that everything's gonna be blurry, and they move around a lot. So I was like, this is gonna suck.
Did a local band big time you?
Off camera.
That's pretty.
There's what's funny is my wife actually likes the music, so she has one of their shirts, and I've put the especially after something else that happened recently, I've put we have a band. We have a band on. We don't wear that shirt around Griffin.
Yeah, I might find out who that is.
Oh my god.
You won't be surprised.
Yeah.
But yeah, learning when something goes not as bad as it could go, but when something like is very difficult, way more difficult than you anticipated, and you find a way to get through it, and customers happy with their pictures, you make a little bit of money, you have content to post, then you go, okay, well, it's no matter what, it's gonna go better than last time.
He should have been in the fucking Air Force, dog.
Yeah, right. Making something out of nothing.
That's the military every day.
On the other side of that wire, there's a man who wants to kill you.
Bro, that's every day. It's just making something out of nothing and getting the job done, and then go at it.
Thank God I got growing up in the era when they had drones.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. Funny story about our photographer. So her name was Rickelle, and we were doing like a little run, and we never even thought about hiring a photographer. We were just like, our friends would send us like iPhone photos or whatever, and that's what we would post online. It just, it was grainy and wasn't edited and looked like kind of crappy and all that. And so we were playing Massachusetts, and we were out like in Western Mass, and she had hit us up and would just send us a message on, I think she was a friend of mine on Facebook, and we never really interacted until she sent me that message and was like, hey, can I come out and shoot your show? And we were like, we're in the van, like, we never even thought about getting a photographer. Like, that'd be cool. Someone that actually has some kind of like experience.
More than a camera phone?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you're old. More than like a Nokia.
Yeah, flip phone, like a Razor or something like that. Yeah. So she showed up and she shot our show, and the photos were passable, and she'll say that too. Like for us, we were like, holy shit, we're in 4K and all this, and we were just so excited. And then as time went on, and she admitted to me that night, she had said in the message like, I want to shoot music photography, and I've always been interested in this. So I thought, oh, she has experience. Like, this could be awesome. First time she ever shot live. First time she ever shot inside a venue. Like, she's still figuring out her camera and all that stuff. And we were super thankful. We gave her some money and sent her on her way and thought nothing of it. We were just like, oh, thanks, you know. And then every time we had a show, she cut that time out. And I see you doing that for Beyond and a lot of bands that you're working with in the local scene. And it's just so cool. Like, and I hope, and you know, everyone sees your potential, like you personally, your potential. And I think that's why Dee Dee's reached out to you and all these other people, because they're like, they see your content. And that's the same thing that happened with Rickelle, is like, she started posting stuff to Instagram, and then all these people in the local scene were like, oh, damn, she's actually really good. And then all these bands started hiring her. Next thing you know, she was working with like a Muir and these bigger bands and getting offered tours. And man, she was killing. I don't know what she's up to today. She might still be in it, but you know, it's just so cool to start at that level and then build yourself up. Because a lot of people, and this happens in the local scene with bands, is like they'll get that opportunity at vinyl or like a big venue and fall flat on their face, you know, where it's like, and then they expect that, you know, every time where they're playing with these bigger bands that bring out a big crowd. And then when you're playing in a smaller venue, there's like 5-10 people that show up. And then you're like, what the F, you know, like right. I'm used to sold out shows. It's like, well, welcome to reality, man. Like, and you learn that.
Ups and downs.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people, when they get that big opportunity to start, think that is going to propel them. I think get a little bit jaded, you know what I mean? Like thinking that every opportunity is going to be that, you know, and then you don't learn how to adapt, you know, like in the smaller venues where the lighting's not great. Right. And you know what I mean? So I think
if I'm getting paid for a show, almost always it's at the Handlebar, it's at Downtown Music Hall, it's at Mosey's. It's almost always basically anybody can bring a camera in bar show. If like those are almost all the shows that I get paid for. But then like the ones that I'm able to actually get a photo pass for, like Vinyl, Club LA, stuff like that, it's experience getting good lighting. Those are the things that I value, is like, look, like I can shoot a big show. I can shoot Attack, you know. What was that other band? There was some other band that I shot that had like a Grammy nomination at one point that was like a regular rock band or whatever. They were mediocre. Yeah. But it was like big lighting shows, like big band, like, hey, I can shoot this stuff, and I can shoot in the back of a pizza shop when you know all the lights, the power goes out, so the only light that they have is one of those like tin construction lights only lighting up the back wall. You know what I mean? Like just versatility, and like you said before about Rickelle, like showing up for all of y'all's shows and stuff like that. Like I do that for Beyond, I do that for Worthy, because it's and I'll always do that for the people that gave me opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it is bananas to me that Worthy let me shoot their Club LA show. That is bananas. I had like 4 shows under my belt.
So
you could have got Dee Dee.
Yeah, but
you put yourself in someone's shoes, like, you know, when you're starting out, and then you see somebody that.
Yeah, and like another thing is too is like I was gonna say, it's not just that you like show problem, dude. You're a cool guy. Like you're personable. You're trying like.
Oh, stop.
Well, like you
keep going.
You could, we could see that you're trying to do a good job, and so like even if they all came out like shit, we'd be like, oh, fucking whatever. Like you're trying, and you're a cool dude. And you mean well. You know
you can only get better.
You mean well, you're trying to do good. Like, we could see that you're trying to do a good job. So it's like, at least from my perspective, I'm like, I'll give you as many chances. If you're trying and you're like a cool dude and you're like, yeah, I can do better, or like this, that, and the other. And, you know, like, I just figured that you had an idea of like how shows go, and you're into the music. So you kind of have an idea of like what we're looking for, because you follow the same kind of bands.
Right.
So you like, this guy has an idea. He's going to have an idea, and he means well, and he's a cool dude. So fucking, like come in, have fun.
Well, it's like,
let's all have fun together.
Yeah. It's like showing that you care.
We get better. Everybody gets better. We all get better together.
Right.
And then hopefully the scene is a better place.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
But just give, if you see somebody, and that's why like I do the same thing I've had other photographers message me, and I do the same thing that Dee did, because I was like, oh, how that made me feel, and also the confidence that gave me going forward, and what that has done for me in the past almost a year is like, dude, I'll give. It's only been a couple people, but I'll give advice to anybody, or at least direct them to the people that I'm like, but you know who will talk to you and who gives great advice? This person.
Yeah.
As long as you get opportunity, and you it's stuff that you just have to do it to figure it out. Everybody has their own style. The thing is, I don't see myself having a style, but Dee she's like, you have a recognizable style. Whereas me, I'm just sitting there like a psychopath messing with sliders until I'm like, I like that one.
Yeah, nailed it. Yeah.
If it was any other way, I'm like garbage. But
yeah.
It's like, it's just mostly based on what you like, and you just have to get opportunity. That's why I'd say anybody who gave me opportunity when I didn't have August Burns Red and Devil Wears Prada in my like history on my Instagram, it's crazy to me. It's wild. I'll forever be loyal to those people no matter what.
Yeah.
You're willing to put in work for free too. Like you didn't expect anything out of it like when you first started, that's how you have to start. Like there's a lot of people that I've run into that feel like, oh, you're talking to me right now, you should be paying me for my time. And it's like, it doesn't always work like that. Like I would tell him when I don't get paid every show that we book at Downtown Music Hall,
Mm-hmm.
But I know that when we have a super successful show, I'm going to get paid for booking the show. But, like, I just see, like, things into the future that could be, know. So if I work hard now, hopefully new venue opens up, bigger shows, bigger opportunities.
And do you enjoy what you do? Do you enjoy it?
Okay.
The
booking shows.
Fair.
I enjoy helping out Ian and getting shows in there that are successful. So when they are successful, I do like what I do. It's just there's a lot of bands that aren't
customer service. There's
a lot of bands out there that are very successful.
Client relations.
Yeah. It's tough. Some of the stuff is pretty tough.
If things stayed exactly as they are now forever, and I never moved up at all past this point, you would never hear me complain. If I get paid to do one big
isolate
shoot
that
every but like for real, if it just so happened that it was like, all right, a tour never happens, and I get paid every month and a half to do a show, you know what I mean? And I just get photo passes to shoot shows that I was going to go to as a fan anyways.
It's super sick.
I love doing it. Love it. And I like it. I mean, like I spend my own gas money getting there. Like I have to buy my own equipment. It is a hobby that I am willing to dedicate a lot of time and resources to, just because that feeling of getting all those pictures back and start editing them, and then like as soon as I upload them to Dropbox and start swiping through it on Dropbox, and I'm like, it not tooting your own horn, but just being really, really happy with the work that you did and being like, you know what? I shot Silverstein and those pictures look sick. I don't know if anybody else thinks they look sick, but I shot Silverstein and I like the way the pictures look. And Silverstein was one of the bands that got me into metal in the first place when I was like 10. So, what more fulfilling? I don't need to get money from that. The feeling that I got inside fist bumping the guitarist for Silverstein and talking about that when they played here like 12 years ago at that, I forget what they used to call it. Dang, that venue that's out in Pensacola. That's gross.
That's gross?
Yeah, nobody plays there anymore. It was like a restaurant.
Oh, I don't remember. I've only played the Handlebar and the Vinyl out there in Pensacola, unfortunately.
I don't know why they played there.
Well,
it was a very strange.
I don't know.
There was no air conditioning. There was like I don't know. It was a weird show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. From my experience, like being in a band, like when you're playing with the bands that you look up to, like since you were like 16, and you're just like standing next to them, like you want to be chill, but at the same time, you're like, I have like freaking butterflies right now. And not for the fact that like, I know everyone's a human being. They are, like everyone's got family and all the stuff that's going on in their own lives and stuff. So like, I don't look at a musician as like, oh my God, high and mighty. It's just like looking back to where I was to where I am now gives me goosebumps. You know what I mean? And like even now, what I do now, it's so freaking exciting. And I just love being a part of music and doing this podcast and everything. It's just, I never would have thought that I'd be here. So I feel that.
The goosebumps, I did get that with hanging out with After the Burial.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, bro, I was so nervous.
What year was that?
That was on that All-Star tour. We got to hang out in their RV. They had a RV with them, and we got to hang out with them all day. And like, I brought a friend along, and then I had another guy who knew the band, and that was my in. And like the whole day was just chilling in the RV, talking to Trent and Justin, and
rest in peace, Justin.
Yeah, and then Lee was their bass player. Like we went for sushi with him.
Super tall dude.
Yeah,
Yep.
and but then like later on in the day, I was like, I had to ask Trent and Justin. I was like, "Am I being all right?" And they were like, "Yeah." I was like, "Cause inside, I'm really like exploding, adrenaline and energy. I'm trying my damnedest to be as cool as possible right now."
Yeah.
But the cool thing was, like, at the end, they found out that I was a firefighter. Like, it took a while to, like, get warmed up and everything like that. But, like, by the end of the night, they were like, "You're a firefighter?" And then Anthony, the vocalist, was like, he's like, "I was going to be a paramedic," and stuff like that. And then they were asking me all, like, stories. And we just had, like, an aircraft crash and stuff. I was like, "Do I have the story for you?"
Everybody sit
in
back.
a semicircle.
So anyways.
I was like, here we are. You know?
I find the left foot. No idea where the right is.
Oh, it was a bad one too. It was a bad one, but yeah, it was pretty cool. That was an awesome time, man.
Tell you what, I'll tell you about the worst thing I've ever seen as a firefighter. If you tell me how you wrote Berserk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a spiritual moment, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, those guys, they were super chill though, but they were like normal dudes, man. Like just normal guys, which was really cool. Everybody I've met like in the genre that I think me, you, and probably you listen to, I haven't really met any like people that seem, had like a huge ego.
No. Yeah.
I've noticed the heavier the music, the nicer the people are.
Yeah.
Like
right.
you find some like No
They're
Cure.
like absolute sweethearts,
Legit,
and you're
yeah,
like
we just saw No Cure last night. All of their shirts say stainless steel. I want to hurt you. Stab you, like I want to stab you. Just like they're the craziest things, yelling stuff off stage. Like if you're standing still, you're a target. And then you meet them after the show, and they're giving hugs, and they're just like, dudes. It's just the nicest people. And then the bands that I've shot for that like are trying to be swancore bands are just like,
well, that Upon a Burning Body show that you shot, the Upon a Burning Body show, all the support for that show, all the support bands. We didn't talk to Upon a Burning Body. They were busy, and I think one of them, the vocalist had their family there, so they were just doing their own thing. But they were all sweethearts. Like after we got done with our set, like they all made a point to come over and say something like, "Wow, you guys did great. Holy shit." One band said that we were like the best opening band that they had on the tour. Things like that. Like Volvadenia, I think I'm saying that right.
Yep.
Those guys were super awesome.
Yep.
Like they made a point to come over and say something to us. I was like, "Oh, fucking, you guys killed it." Like I'm like, "What? Huh?"
All those bands and that show, all of their media guys came up and got my information.
Oh, that's
without
dope.
that was like my fourth photo shoot or my fourth concert job ever, that I was just like super nervous. I was so terrified about being in anybody's way. I just assumed that these photographers are going to be like, peasant, look at your crappy $150 lens, get out of here. And
but that's why they like people like you, though. Yeah. You're not in the way. You're respectful.
That's all I wanted to be, was respectful. Whatever y'all want me to do, I'll do. Like whatever. And so they all came up, got my info, super nice. I'm still like I went and hung out in the green room for that Attack show the entire time before the show because of James, who was the photographer for Signs of the Swarm.
They've got a dope green room in there, don't they?
Dude,
It's pretty
the
sweet.
signed posters of Steel Panther on the wall.
Oh, sick. Yeah. You know they're coming back here, right? Like I think they're
Of course.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to go see them.
Let me guess. Is 10 years also going to be coming back to Club LA?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. There's another one that always comes back to that Non-Point.
Oh my
Non-Point
God!
always comes
If I
back.
see
Dude, I
Nikki,
love Non-Point.
I love Nikki, but
They
if I
always come back here. They're
I
always
love
here.
them.
if I see Nikki
still
post
love
a non-point show one more time, like half of her concert photos are non-pointed.
Apparently, they have like a really good connection with Club LA. Like they know some people that work there or something like
Gotcha.
that, and they have like so it's always a stop for them. And I guess they do really good shows, but
Even that Upon a Burning Body show, I mean, that was almost 10 months ago, and I'm still in regular contact with Austin Freer, who is the photographer for Decayer, Hunter, the guitarist for Decayer, James, who is the photographer for Signs of the Swarm. He's the vocalist for Born Anew, photographer for Enterprise Earth, Attack, all those dudes. Like, still in regular contact with them, DMs and all that kind of stuff, just like homies. Just because you meet people one time and hang out, and then all of a sudden, if you get along, like, you've got connections now. And especially if you don't treat people, that's the biggest piece of advice I can give anybody. Don't treat people with it, and don't ever have it in your mind while you're talking to somebody, what can I get out of this?
Yeah.
If they like me.
Yeah.
Because like, number one, you should kind of have like a dirty feeling by thinking that way, but also it comes out in the way that people are not stupid. They can tell when you're talking to them, if you're talking to them trying to make a connection, or you're trying to, like, there's a different thing than being like, ooh, I know you know these people. Like, if I know somebody in Tennessee, I know who to recommend them to go to. There's the way of making that connection, but don't just be like, ooh, if I'm nice to them, they might help me in some way. Like, don't do things just to get a good result. Just be a nice person to everybody.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I've done. I take mediocre pictures and I'm nice to people.
I play mediocre music and I'm nice to people.
That's all you have to do.
It's like you're in a band, dude. You're like,
Yeah, right.
like legit, dude. It's like you're
I'm in the
a band.
Air Force. I'm in a band.
Well,
It's all
a
good.
big way to look at it too, and a way that I thought of it when I was in a band is like, not only am I I'm investing in myself in the band and investing actual money and time and everything, but I'm also investing in you, and I'm investing in you and like the people around me. Like, a lot of people, they say the scene, but they only really think about themselves in the scene. They don't really think about the full scene. You know what I mean? Like, and we talked about this before, but I want to reiterate, like, it's just so important, like, based off of what you're saying, like, investing in the scene, not just yourself and what you can get out of the scene, but like giving to it. Because I feel like a lot I see on social media, like, these people, like, come out to our show, come out to our show, come out to our show. And this goes for bands too. It's like, well, what are you providing to me? Like, yeah, you make good music or whatever, but like, what are you providing to me that makes me want to go to the show? Like, are you going to stick around and talk to us? Or are you going to just play the show and then leave? Because I see that a lot where, even last night, was it last night you went to see My Children, My Bride?
Yeah.
Was that last night? Yeah. So, like, think about it, first band plays and then they just take off. It's like, well, why am I going? I'm not saying that happened last night, but I'm just saying, like, the support bands will sometimes play and then just, I got to work in the morning. It's like, dude, stick around, say hello to everybody, stay for the whole show, because then the band that's headlining might want to stick around, hang out, and chat with you guys and thank you for actually playing. And then a lot of times, and Justin's dealt with this, where you're actually going to get paid at the end of the night, but you left, so you're not getting paid now. And a lot of people don't think about that.
Even if you have one shirt design, if you have stickers, if you have CDs,
Yeah.
literally anything. If you don't stick around until the venue is like begging you to leave and everybody's packing up, you're losing money.
Oh, yeah,
Dude,
absolutely.
That Demon Hunter show at the Vinyl, if I wouldn't have stuck around till the end of Demon Hunter, I would have missed out on probably 5 or 6 sales, because I waited till like everybody was gone, and there were people that wanted to go talk to Demon Hunter, and then after Demon Hunter, they talked to like the vocalist and shit. They came over and they were like, "Hey, I want to get a shirt." And I'm like, "Oh, hell yeah! I'm glad I."
Well, that's
like all the support bands all fucking packed up, and I'm still sitting there.
There are some people that don't want to be standing around holding their shirt too, So, or like, and then I've had people at the end of a show. Obviously we're the opening band, so I'm thinking like, we've played with Ice Nine Kills, like Moss Flame, like these bigger bands, and I'm thinking they just want to go talk to them. And I would hang out at the merch table, and they come over like, "Oh yeah, I wanted to get something from you guys too." And I'm like, "Oh, all right, cool," And then they're walking out with like their arms full of crap, But if I didn't stick around, I would have missed on that sale and a potential fan.
Mm-hmm.
If they didn't get that interaction with us,
has a positive interaction with you that they're going to think about when they look you up on Spotify.
Exactly. Yeah, and I say that a lot. Now that we're on the topic, I won't beat it up too much, but I thought it was really important just to make friends. Like, it wasn't so much about fans; it was more about like making friends. Like, because I think it's so cool. Like, if I'm friends with you, and when I see you shooting these bigger shows, I'm like, go, like that's fucking awesome. This kid Destin, I don't know if you've met him yet.
Destin, it's like
Van Sickle.
Yeah. He was at the Attack show. So
I don't know if you know, but I met him at Juana's. He's a bartender at Juana's in Navarre. And I was there, and he was talking about he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm a photographer, but I've never done like music or anything like that." And I told him to come to your guys' show. He shot that, and then Attack. They had posted someone
Cameron.
Yeah, posted something about wanting photographers. So I messaged him and I was like, "Dude, get on the show if you want." And then he got on it. Yeah. So when I saw him on Instagram, he posted the photos and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Like that's so like I have nothing to do. I'm not asking for credit,
right?
But like
I remember like the first show that he shot, the Worthy show.
Yeah,
I remember talking to him and stuff like that. And
he's like, a cool guy, super nice kid. Shout out to Desmond. Trying to get his foot in the door and stuff, and like just on a whim met me. Like there was no reason for us to really cross paths, but we started talking, and I was like, "Dude, if you're interested, I got some shows I can probably toss you on."
Yeah,
more the merrier. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the thing.
The way I think.
Yeah, like that's the thing with the scene, dude.
Rising
like no one's trying to. Yeah, no one's trying to take your job. A lot of people think like, this band gets signed in our local area and now they're on tour and doing these big things. Like, that'll never happen to us, or they took our opportunity and stuff. I get excited when I was in a band, and still now, where like, say Worthy gets signed tomorrow. All these bands should be like, no way that record labels are looking at our area. We need to get our shit together. We need to play these bigger shows. And they're looking at us like, we've played shows with Worthy. We've played shows with these other bands that are getting bigger. Like, it's like, you're not trying to get anything out of it, but welcome Charlie to the show, everybody.
Yeah, Charlie's made his appearance.
But it's just like, no one's trying to take that opportunity for you. If anything, it's creating more opportunities for bands and stuff. So, but it happens with photographers as well.
Yeah.
He wants to be in the show.
Buddy.
Charlie.
Thank you for the kiss. Charlie, come here.
Charlie, lay down, buddy.
Very nice of you. Down.
It's my dog, Charlie, everybody.
Hey, bud.
Niño, siéntate.
Yes, buddy. I know. If my dogs see this, they're going to get jealous.
Yeah, you're going to get home and smell like him, and they're going to be like, "What were you doing?"
It's difficult because, like, I've heard Justin say it before to Beyond, like, there's a competitive sense that is helpful in certain things. Like if you're gonna play a show before you go on, especially if you're an opening band and you're opening one of these bigger shows, being like, I want us to be the one that everybody remembers. Like,
absolutely.
I want, and it's not, you're not saying you're not like, ooh, I want to be better than this band and I want them to know that I'm better. It's not like this weird toxic competition. It's just like, I want us to elevate tonight, and I want us to be the best that we can be. Charlie, thank you.
Well, also you're putting on a show, dude. Like every show is a show.
Yeah, you should be trying to do your best.
Yeah,
like, and that's really what it is. It's like, go out there and give them your best. You're here, you might as well. Like, don't just go up there and just be like, "Oh, we were here. Thanks. Good night." Like, you want everybody at the end, fists in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want them to remember you at the end of the show. Be like, damn, who was that opening band? Because they were nasty.
Yeah. I mean, because that's your opportunity. You know,
I'll put them outside for a second.
It's your opportunity. Just like when you got your opportunity to go shoot, your first big show. That was your opportunity. I'm sure you're probably a little. You said you were nervous and like
out of my mind, nervous. Yeah.
But you're like it's good to have somebody there to like. Especially like the Beyond kids. They're kids. I mean, they're like 18, 19. Like, you have somebody in your corner. Even a boxer going in has people in their corner. So, like, go out there and be great. Do great things. Fuck all the rest. You got the opportunity. Now go use it and fucking kill it, dude.
Yeah.
You'll be exhausted when you get off stage. Exhausted.
It's actually a really good analogy, dude. So, like, if you're thinking of, like, UFC, if you're, like, the first fight on the card, are you going to walk out there and be like, well, I'm the first fight, I'm not going to try?
Yeah.
You're about to get your ass whooped.
First fight on the card?
And you can't, and standing in front of a crowd of 800 people,
is Dana cage side? We're standing and banging. We're getting that 50G bonus.
Well, actually, that's a really good point. Sorry, but that's a really good point, too, because you never know who's in the crowd and watching you, too. So if you get up there, I'm a manager, I'm a low-level manager, but, like, if I'm watching a band and they blow me away, then it's like, well, I want to work with this band and see what I can do for them. Mm-hmm. But if they get up there and they half-ass it and stuff like that, then it's like I'm not interested.
I was gonna say was it the Upon a Burning Body show at Club LA? I think we finished our first song and we got that moment of silence that feels like it's 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Like where people just processed what they heard.
Yeah.
And they was probably new to majority of them. And I hadn't gotten, it was just silent. Like the music went out and it was silent. And that silence, it was probably like 2 seconds.
Yeah, right.
But it felt like...
Feels like an eternity.
30 minutes. Like I had tuned my guitar, switched it out, reset the fucking backing tracks. It felt like, like that's how long it felt. And then it was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, thank God. Because it was going to be a long set. It was going to be a long 29 minutes.
Well, y'all have all those those instrumental parts pauses right before Ben gets out there.
I know.
I think that's super important to have. I mean, it's off of the topic, but it's just like having like a rolling set, where you know exactly how long, because a lot of bands will get up there, dude. Sorry, but this is just.
You gonna talk about the fiddling on stage?
Well, that too, but for this episode, what really grinds my gears is bands that like the whole, like there was that meme that was going around about tearing down your drums on stage and stuff like that.
That's horrible. Yeah,
I can't stand. So like, there's time restraints. You know what I mean? So like, you have 20 minutes, and if it takes you 5 minutes to set up, like into your 5 minutes of set time, then you have 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Don't take my 20 minutes. Like if I'm the following band, don't cut out of my time because you messed up. You know what I mean? And like bands don't think like that. They're just, and like, I don't blame them sometimes because they haven't played enough shows to know to get that experience. But like after you've played like at least 5 to 10 shows, you should know, okay, like if I'm having technical difficulties and it cuts 2 minutes into my time or, whatever, like I should consider that for the next band and not, because then the sound guy gets on your ass, like the venue's on your ass, and all you're doing is really shooting yourself in the foot. Like where you could play 5 songs and still get away with it, where you're like, oh, I have a 6-song set, we have to play the 6th song. You don't have to, plan for that.
Oh yeah.
And I bands get so frustrated when the sound guy's like, that's it. It's like, dude, that's your fault. That's not the sound guy's fault. That's not the venue's fault. They have a certain time you need to be done. So
some places have curfews.
You
have to be done.
That too. Now you're eating into time of the headlining band. I mean, you're not, because they're not going to, if anything, they're tossing one of the band, and then that band gets tossed because you made a bad decision. You know what I mean? So
the first time playing at Club LA was like okay, like I went up to him. I was like, so we have 30 minutes. He's like, yep. I was like, do I need to be off in 30 minutes? You know, like I wanted to clarify. Like I made sure to clarify. Like, do we need
music
to be,
stops?
Like music stops at 30 minutes? And he's like, yes. I was like, because our set is 35 minutes. And he's like, oh, no. I was like, so you need us to be done at 29:59. And he's like, yes, I do.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, got you. I know exactly which song to cut out. I know exactly how long this is going to be. And then I think we had something with the Upon a Burning Body show, and we were like cutting it really, really close, and we had to like cut out an interlude. So I was like, just cut out the interlude. We can play an extra song.
Yeah.
Just go right into the 6th song. We're good to go. And I was communicating with the sideline judge, basically the dude on the side doing sound, and I was like, before this last 2 songs, I was like, and with my watch, and he goes, he went 10 minutes, and I was like, cool, man, we'll be done in like 7 or whatever. My hands didn't work. I was like, we'll be done in 7, and he's like, perfect. I'm like, awesome.
Yeah.
We're on time. We're doing what
And those dudes love you for that, too.
Everybody in the crowd thought it was gang signs. They're like, ooh, this guy's a real one.
I
don't know what
Does this
7
mean
is,
we
but
need
I'm
to
scared
mosh
of
more?
them. Yeah.
Are we not turning up enough for this guy?
Like, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, no, that's a big pet peeve of mine. And, it's the same thing with like being a photographer and like bumping into people and not watching where you're going. And, and then the other thing is like, usually you get like the first 2 songs as a photographer when you're at like Club LA or
3.
Vinyl or whatever.
First 3.
Yeah. So first 3.
3-song rule.
Yeah. So, yeah, and you got to be out of the photo pit after those 3 songs.
Oh, really?
Because then...
had no clue.
Unless
some bands like Upon a Burning Body don't care. They don't care. Signs of the Swarm, they don't care.
Yeah.
But it's mostly up to tour manager or the band. They can tell security. So like Attack had that thing where they're like, all right, 3 songs only. But then James grabbed me and brought me to security and said he has no, don't mess with him. He can.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I got.
What's the reasoning behind that?
The way that I think it is like, I'll use an example. I believe it was Dayseeker. When Dayseeker played at the Vinyl, 3-song rule, whatever. But then on their 3rd song, they did like this special thing where like everybody got out the flashlights on their phones and stuff like that, and they were doing like a video thing, and I think they wanted like an empty barricade. For all that. I think it gives whoever their media person is, I think it gives them the most freedom to get exactly what they need.
Makes sense. Okay.
If they want to do video, that's why some places don't like. I think obviously the heavier bands, like they don't care. The more photos of them, the better.
The better. Yeah.
I think I think Signs of the Swarm is one of those bands that's like, dude, the more, no matter where it is, whatever audience can see a picture of us and have our Instagram tagged, the better. But then some bigger bands, it's like, well, we're going to do a thing. But it's kind of just become like a venue rule, a tour manager rule, Depends on who you get.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's more just, whoever's on the tour with them, the photographer that's on the tour wants to be able to get in there and just do his thing. And, like, you're giving the local photographers a chance, you know what I mean? Which is awesome. You know what I mean? It's so cool. Some bands don't even allow local photographers, and they have their reasons. I'm not hating on that at all. It's sometimes you get in the way. Sometimes they have 5 of their own photographers that are on the road, depending on the size of the band. So I get it. You know what I mean? Some people might get frustrated at that, but it's just like, you'll get another opportunity. It's just.
I think you should use the drone shots. You got a drone, dude?
I need to get a drone. Yeah, dude.
I've been seeing a lot of those shots. They look fucking.
Oh, they look so cool.
Media guy.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he has like a 360 camera too.
So he has the 360 on a pole, and then they played an amphitheater where he put the drone all the way at the top, and then like free fell it, and like came down almost like you would a jet. So and it was multi-leveled. Yeah. So there was like ground floor, and then there was 2 what do you call them, balconies. So you see.
Oh, I saw those. Wide. Yeah.
So you're coming down and you see the seat, and then it's like he flattens out and comes towards the
so
stage.
Cool.
People do that at festivals too, especially where
Spirit Box did that shit where they went on stage and around.
Yeah,
it looked super sick.
Dude, that stuff is so. That's the things that
Scott comes back down here. I'm gonna have him do that with his drone.
Those things excite me. I've been pricing out drones and stuff like that. Those are the things that excite me. Is once I feel like, okay, I can. If somebody wanted me to shoot a show like the way that I normally shoot it, I can do that, no problem. Now I'm getting to the thing of what's the new thing that I want to do. It doesn't have to be something that nobody else has done before, but what's something I've never done before that if I learn this, it's one more skill in the toolbox. So recently I've been doing silhouettes where you may not see the face of whoever it is I'm photographing. It may be that the subject is dark and the background's light, but the silhouettes look freaking cool.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Some bands like that. Like, 21 Pilots, you don't need to see a close-up of the lead singer's face. You know what he looks like. But if you can get, like, a really cool photo of him where he's, like, posing somehow up against the backlights and everything, that's the picture they're going to post on Instagram.
Yeah.
Because in the end, it's these guys are choosing the pictures.
Is that the hardest part for you, is finding the moment? The moment to take a shot?
I've gotten better at that.
Yeah.
At first, I didn't even think about it. At first, it was one of those things where I was just like, I was like, Mosh Vet's veteran moment. I was like one of those dudes that got into Afghanistan and panicked. It was like, I was just holding down, like I would take like 1,000 pictures for one band, and it was just like, okay, you've got to knock this off. You can't keep doing this. So now I've gotten to where I'll wait a moment where I'm like, this is a dead moment. There's nothing. I don't need to be shooting right here, and kind of wait until it seems like they're about to do something, or time the lights properly. Like if there's strobe lights, try and time it properly. Knowing the songs helps a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you know when they're gonna have
when the big drops are coming. And, yeah.
Like Lost in the Static, for instance. You better believe those lights are strobing.
Oh yeah.
You need to account for that, you need to know. Look up the band's set list before the show. Treat it like it's I love football and basketball. We grew up always sports minded entirely, watching sports documentaries. I love all of that stuff. Kobe's documentary Muse is one of my favorite documentaries of all time. That crap amps me up so hard. Treat it like you're watching film.
I think I've said that before, Anna. Yeah.
Look up live videos of the band that you're going to shoot. Yep. You can find their set list on setlist.fm. Is it always accurate? No. But look up their if it's a bigger band and they have a full set on YouTube of the tour that they're playing right now, and you only have the first 3 songs, watch those first 3 songs, listen to them on the record, time what you've got.
Smart.
Because if you get shots that some bands don't bring a photographer. They just don't care about it. Highly Suspect, 2 Grammy nominations, 0 photographers.
Yeah.
Highly Suspect sold out Club LA like that, and they had no photographers. Whose photos do you think they're going to post?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, Highly Suspect doesn't really post anything on social media, which is their own stupid fault. But if they wanted to...
They don't need to, apparently.
Yeah. But whose pictures do you think they're going to post? You know what I mean? You always have to treat it with if you are serious about it, treat it with seriousness. That 100%. Those are the only 2 things I can tell people is be honest and nice with everybody that you deal with. I would 100 times over let somebody take advantage of me in a heart, before I would ever get that negative mindset where I'm like, this person, just be positive with everybody, give everybody the benefit of the doubt, give everybody opportunities. And then secondly, take it seriously if you want it to be serious. You've got it to sports, they watch film. These dudes already got their millions. They can retire after their rookie contract if it's guaranteed.
Yeah.
They don't need to, do it it's for the love of the game.
Yeah.
What are you, the dude from Holding Absence couple months ago, dude kept doing these jumping kicks. I missed it the first couple times, and then I started to notice legit I was like a quarterback watching film. I was trying to notice when a safety's gonna bite on an in route.
Yeah.
I was like, I was legit watching. I was like, he's about to kick, and I knew exactly where to be and when to get it. Yep. And those are the things that you're not just there moseying around and taking pictures. And that goes again to the competition sense of like, I would never ever, like you brought up Desmond. I haven't really interacted with him much, but I would never ever be like competitive with him. But in my mind, when I see Desmond's there, I know he's a good photographer. And I know that I'm like, all right, well, I can't slack off.
Yeah.
If I truly, same thing is like you want to be the best band that plays on that stage for the night. That doesn't mean you're going to treat the other bands any differently, but you want your performance to stand out. I want to be the best photographer to shoot that show every time that I go. And seeing other people, if I'm the only photographer shooting the show, I don't feel that. It's anything that you can add to yourself to make yourself sharper, to make yourself more focused, to make yourself more completely focused on what you're doing. And then that's how you end up getting, shots that like I never ever in a million years would have believed. Like after I shot that Lorna Shore show, I legit just like the whole next day just sat and just kept scrolling through the photos. And I was like, I can't believe, like, it doesn't make sense that I took these and that like any of this has happened.
Yeah, there is something about that healthy competition. You know what I mean? Like, you can't get good if you're just the only one doing it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, having somebody else around, and that's probably how Dee Dee looks at it too. Like, she genuinely wants to help people, genuinely. But if she's the only one in the pit and she's not really getting challenged, and I think that's what makes you better, Like, even for Worthy, there could be a band that pops up tomorrow that's just like, holy crap, they are good and put on a great show. It's like, we need to match that and be better, if anything,
right.
Yeah. But I love what they're doing, and I'm going to support them.
Yeah.
But we've been around for how long? We got to be just as good, It gives you that little boost of
how are you going to look at things? Like, if for that example, if a band popped up tomorrow that was like, holy crap, they're good. Are you going to look at it as, well, we need to find a way to not let this band overtake our opportunities? Or are you going to be like, we need to elevate ourselves, and if right now they're getting more hype than we are, hey, maybe we can open for them.
Yeah, that too, yeah.
Yeah.
Just look for your opportunities and try not to. People are super negative, especially in the music industry. I feel like people can be easily jaded, get super negative if they have a few bad experiences and everything, but just treat everybody positively. If somebody's espousing some opinion, you don't have to say exactly what you think. Just go along with it. Just be friends with everybody. You're not going to be best friends with everybody, but just do your thing. Be nice. Like, I'm sure, me and Dee Dee wouldn't hang out on the weekends and watch football and drink beer.
Yeah.
But every time that I see Dee Dee at a show, I'm excited. I run up and give her a hug. I'm excited to see Brian. I'm always excited to see the other photographers and just get a chance to meet them. And who knows, maybe they share a tip or two, but that's not why I'm in it.
Yeah, and your common bond too is music.
Yeah,
that's how that's how all these different personalities come together. So yeah,
we're all crazy.
Yes,
Well, we can end it there if you want. Yeah. Thank you so much. Where can we find you online?
Yeah, dude.
Instagram is griff.shoots, so griff.shoots. Facebook is the same thing, griff.shoots. I probably need to do a website at some point. That'd probably be good. Haven't done that yet. So yeah, really just Instagram, Facebook. If you DM me, I always respond. Even if you're trying to sell me Gothic jewelry, I always respond.
He owns so much Gothic jewelry.
I'm a brand ambassador for 65 different jewelry companies. It's no big deal.
Yeah, I get those every day.
And before we end the show, I wanted to give you something. So hang on.
Oh dear God.
Yeah. You're the first guest. You got to get something.
Just so you know, I do not have a license for concealed carry, if that's what you're thinking. Oh heck yeah! All right, we got to show. We got to show this for the camera. So we got Moshvet's Department of Moshvets, very official. I'm gonna need a wax seal for the next one, but okay.
This
is to certify that the Moshvet's Achievement Medal has been Metal with a T.
Yeah.
Also not a D. So metal has been awarded to Griffin Woodin for being a guest of the show June 11th, 2023. Accomplishments. He somehow dealt with Justin and Dave for 2+ hours and made out unscathed. I haven't left yet, so the unscathed part.
Yeah.
Now we gotta get the get in here. We gotta do the official.
Oh my god.
So left hand, hold in your left hand, and then you shake with your right.
Shout out.
You have been yeah.
There you go.
We want to make like a bunch of like different military kind of.
I have an
Stuff
army
like
jacket
that.
at home. I need a patch.
Oh yeah,
well,
no, we
we
want to make patches.
Well,
yeah.
or
Coins, patches,
Yeah.
flags.
So-
Yeah.
I just
We're gonna embrace it. Yeah.
I bought like
Go all in.
I bought a golf bag a couple years ago from some dude out in like Navarre, and I finally like the other day I went to the driving range and I was digging through trying to find tees and I was like, what is this? And I pull out and it was like a coin, like a medallion, and it was like 25th Infantry, Tropic Thunder, all this stuff written on it. It was like Award of Excellence, and I was like, why is? And I felt so bad because I was like, dude, if I had found this like 3 years ago, I would have given it back to the guy.
Well, so the reason he has it in there is because when military members go to the bar, you pull out a coin.
Everybody takes their
Yeah,
coin
if
out.
you pull out a coin, and you put it. What is it? You put it on the bar.
Yeah, everybody
Yeah,
puts
then
their
everybody has
coin
to
on
pull
the
out a coin and put it on the bar. And if you don't have a coin, you buy the round.
yeah for everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, for everyone. And then if somebody pulls out the coin and they drop it, or you can make them drop it, if they drop their coin before they put it on the bar, then they have to pay for the round for everyone. I do believe
That's pretty
the rule.
tight.
Yeah, I forget
Yeah,
the
so you
rules
always,
on that, but yeah.
you always have a coin on you when you go to like a special event in the military, so that you always have that. So you're like, oh shit, I'm not paying for it.
I wasn't. I just learned why it was in there. That makes a lot of sense. But I messaged Evan from Wax Offering, and I was like, "You're in the army, right?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Yo, what is this?" I was like, "Is this like?" I might try and track down the guy and give it back if this is like an actual like distinguished service type thing. But then he was like, it's just. He's like, I have a shoebox of them.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
I
okay,
do
I'm
too,
not worried.
yeah.
Some of them are so like, I gotta get. You were telling me I need to find my Iraq, the ones we got in Iraq.
Yeah, I
Those
gotta
were
find mine
super
too.
sick.
Yeah, I
They're
got
in,
like
yeah.
one from a 4-star general that was like
Yeah.
numbered and everything, and like
Yeah.
I have no idea where it is.
Our chief master sergeant over there, the superintendent of CE gave me one. The commander gave me one, but the ones we ordered for the Iraqi campaign, the months we were there and shit, were super sick with the Maltese cross and the American flag, and then
Yeah,
just
some of
something
them
on
look
the other
so
side.
cool.
Yeah. So
Rest in peace, Chris Kyle.
yeah. All right. Well,
All right,
let's wrap
thanks.
it up, dude.
Yeah, thanks.
That's super
Yeah.
sick, actually.
Once again, online, we're on the ground.